What's good, Joe? Welcome back to Brain Comic X release issue number 19 of X-Men. Last issue I want to see is when we saw what happened with X-23 in the Vault. I think was the last issue. Yeah, I have no idea who any of these characters are. I want to say these are the guys inside the Vault, but I honestly don't remember. I guess I'll find out in a minute. Alright, what is this? Wolverine, Scythe, and Darwin. Okay, got a little chart here. Enter the Vault. Okay. Okay, so we're continuing on with the inside to the Vault. This is the past, South America, the Vault. You can measure in hours, baby. And man, it's how quickly I realized life in the Vault would be an exercise in sacrifice and pain. Looking back, thinking of it now, it was all just too much. The city was too big, the Vault itself even larger. The enormity of it was paralyzing, the scale inconceivable. Before we ran, as we held with watch. Oh, God damn it. We watched the destroyed section of the city begin to rebuild itself. You have to understand, we did not come from a naturally self-healing world. They do. Damn! That dude's straight up a skeleton! So is X-23, the fuck? And what, do they all have healing factors? And however close, not completely disintegrated. So I understand why you pick us three to go in the Vault. You thought, in combination, we could endure anything. That we could somehow survive the raw creatures found in this Genesis tomb. Survive, I had no idea what that word meant the day we entered the city. The first 50 years were the longest. Damn. Alright, credits. In the fire of each other, the Children of the Vault, a highly evolved and highly dangerous superpowered group, developed via exposure to temporal acceleration, have reappeared. X-23, Scythe, and Darwin have entered the Vault to evaluate this threat, knowing only that time flows differently inside. In their first encounter, one of the children self-immortal, catching on our team in the blast, but this is far from the end. Next page. Alright, we're back with a chart. Makeshift command control area established in quadrants of one of the vaults out of the rings. All attempts to send in messages from inside the Vault to the outside world are as expected unsuccessful. Attempts to breach temporal bubble to synchronize time difference. Forge built chronometer also unsuccessful. Darwin adaptations implies that external time passage is not consistent or proportional. Time debit inversion. The child Hoarder is encountered by Recon team, giving Scythe the ability to teleport his team. Hoarder's DNA preserved in stasis paused for further use. Successful mapping of the coordinate one of the Vault identified and located food prosecutors, equipment dumps, and power nodes. Quadrants 2 and 3 maps bypass quadrants 4 to proceed into the inner ring. Location of the city brain and identified. Child replication generation center located. Mutant incursion detected. Okay, next page. The children must have assumed we were dead, vaporized, or atomized, or something, because they didn't try and find us. We laid low and set up inside the outer ring to avoid buildings that were engineered to that were engaged in edge creation. Darwin figured out pretty quickly that there was also genetic sniffers built into much of the architecture of the city. His body adapted to to shield a field of child gene replicant to mask our comings and goings. Later on, we learned to either recognize and avoid them, or disable and fool them. Anyway, for now we had time. Next page. So we watched and learned. We became aware of the city pulsing and breathing as it underwent the ebb and flow of evolutionary leaps. We accelerate we accelerated we excel, assimilated ourselves to the cycles of the vault and timed our reconnaissance missions for when the city slept and the children grew. 2 months of dormancy for every two of growth. During their season of night, we haunt the dreams of the sleeping children. By the end of the six of these cycles, we had gained a surface understanding of the vault, city mappings of power nodes, hatching chambers, and the brain of the city itself. Next page. Another chart. Successful misdirection evasion by mutant recon team. Darwin's DNA recovery and preserved by the city. Second command controlled area established in Quarrel 3 of the Vault Outer Rings. Tactical assault by mutant recon team. Discovery of child classes and evolutionary plans. Escape from Vault attempted. Discovery of Vault Shield. Created after mutant entry. Attempting to pass through the shield, resulting in physical damage from the shield burners. And loss of mutant abilities due to dampness. Duration unknown. Multiple breach attempts failed. Mutant reconnaissance team trapped inside the vault. Mutant reconnaissance team, fractured. Wolverine hunts alone. Scythe finishes construction of stasis system to preserve acclimated child DNA samples. Fugo, Hoarder, Dismas, Magic. Darwin evolves, adapting for isolation. Mutant reconnaissance team reforms. City assault plan. City assault failed. Damn. Ugh. It was just enough time for fear to have disappeared and our thin layers of knowledge to hide in oceans of ignorance. The child Marjorie exists inverted from the rest of the children. While they slept, she works, and while they live and grow, she rests. On our first pass through the what? Oh, let me see real quick. Through the for the crochet, where like our mutant arbor Maginum, the bodies of the reborn children classes wait for rebirth and upgrades. We avoided her by chance, but on our second visit our luck ran out. We made a mistake. Are you sure that? Do it! Next page. And mistakes have consequences. Our mistakes wasn't getting caught. It was our plan of how to deal with this happening. We had established a safe house of sorts, as close to enter the rings of the vault as possible. We prepared an exit strategy, which included leaving behind evidence of our second death in the vault. Our error was believing that in the idea if you give them a win, it would be enough. That our defeat in their victory would satisfy them. That they would treasure the trophy. Fuck. We didn't understand. These people don't celebrate victory. They take their trophy and use it for other means. primarily beating you to death with it. God damn. We had When we had taken our game of little discoveries and survival as far as we could, we decided to change the rules, seize fire from the source, and acclimate real knowledge. The children, the child diamate was a living representative, was a respiratory of the vault history. Next page. His power was memory. He knew the city, he knew, and everything that the city knew. Alright. Years ago, the X-Men had encountered with the Children of the Vault. There were first-generation children, and from their defeat, as the hands of the mutantdom, Earth's first post-humans learned that they too had to evolve, and the second generation of children were proceeded and let loose on the world. Their children were captured, dissented, and repurposed by Orchis as potential weapons at the creation of our nation state. One Serafina escaped when the city learned their fate. It was decided that yet another evolutionary leap was needed. This was to be the third and final generation of children before they were released from the vault to claim Earth as their own. With this, we had learned what we needed, and it was time to return home. Oh boy, how they get back? Yo, everyone looks different now. I dig X-23's new digs, though. She went now she's basically rocking booty shorts, and a bra. Basically, that's basically all she's working with. Although I fucks with the bandages wrapped around her arms, those look fucking cool. But we could not, even after 100 years, we could not find a way through the vault shield tape trapping us inside. Our temporary prison. We only had one option: continue to study, to learn, until they found a way to escape, to escape and make our way home. Damn. Eventually, at the apex of the dormant cycle, we gambled and infiltrated the heart of the vault, the city itself. We gambled. Next page. And lost. They had laid the perfect trap and waited patiently for decades for us to walk right into it. In retrospect, it was obvious they were after Darwin. Laura and I don't remember exactly when I started calling her that instead of Wolverine, but I do remember the day she no longer seemed to mind. We were an afterthought, which made losing her even worse. I should have held on. I should have done more. The years were made worse in isolation, but in the regret that made me feel old. Damn. Next page. This shit is interesting. Scythe attempts to rescue teammates. All attempts fail due to children alertness and enhanced society security. Darwin and Wolverine remain prisoners, unable to rescue his friends, as a result, unable to regenerate, restore, and extend his life. Scythe is forced to escape the Vault timeline. Yo! Vaulted ambushes and steals the power of the children. Terminato also collects necessary supplies for dormant period. Using Tormo's earth-moving ability, Scythe confirms his belief that the shield does not extend directly beneath the vault. Tuning beyond the vault's temporal bubble, Scythe waits 1 week and re-enters over a century later. Yeah. Scythe frees Wolverine. Darwin can't be located. Wolverine and Scythe search for Darwin, refusing to leave him behind. Wolverine and Scythe endure. Children. His timeline legit stops here. Wait, which one? I forget who was which. Who was missing again? Okay, Darwin's the one. Okay, I think Darwin was the red one, I think. The children Serafina is captured, powers copied, city data cord, and location of Darwin now accessible. Next page. Now he's got gray in his beard. He's straight up looking like the fucking the food YouTuber guy. I'm sorry to say, but you guys know the guy. So you might know he like has like a huge part of like gray hair right in the middle of his beard, while the rest of it's black. And he's also, and I'm pretty sure he's also bald. I wonder if that served as the inspiration for Sipes' redesign. Alright, let me just see. I wonder if there was any similarities there. I had decades longer alone with my thoughts. Survival and observation could only fill so many whole hours, or weeks, or years. Living at the whim of a post-humanity steered memories of the past. Looming death, inevitability, looming death, inevitable death, demanding an audience with the ghosts of my childhood. I cannot help but remain when I was younger, still posing as a human with my human mother and human father. A few years before I become something more, I remember my dad catching me looking at him, as he was looking at her. I remembered what he said. Son, most people don't know how to explain it, but I sure do. So listen closely. Next page. Do you know the difference between caring for someone and loving them? If you love them, then you're willing to die for them. That's the difference. That's how you know it's real. Next page. Now she got like a holographic mask. Ooh. And now it's gray. Now his beard is a lot more gray. I thought my father was wise that day. There he is. Oh my God. I think I know what this is. I think I know what they're doing to him. I thought I carry that truth with me forever. Well, let me tell you something. Next page. Most people have no idea what forever means, but I do, and so did she. All right. Location of Darwin discovered. Revelations of the dynamite city decor Aldemant. Prior to Krakoa era mutantdom, projections for mutant displacement required the creation of third-generation children. Post-establishment of Krakoa era mutantdom, third-generation children no longer projected to be successful in displacements protocol. Fourth-generation children require creation of fourth-generation children beyond the current capabilities of the city. Examination of the mutant Darwin acquired genetic material reveals highly adaptable evolutionary structure. Acquires the mutant Darwin. Subject Darwin automized and reconfigurized loop count 10,278. Goddamn. Yeah, imagine being atomized and then being reformed 10,000 times. Yeesh. Genome integration achieved. Harmonic convergence possible. Subject Darwin, final automation and biomass seeding complete. Fourth generation children not possible. Begin children evolution. Mutant recon team attempts vault escape using the stasis DNA of Merbravon and children of Disruptor. Next page. I can disturb it, but going through the shield is still going to hurt. Gotta do it though, right? The professor has to know. Ah! I can't believe how bad this hurts. We just have to get clear. We've got company. I've had enough of you mutants. Next page. Oh shit, yo, what the fuck is going on now? You have to go. One of us has to make it. And you don't have your powers. You don't have your powers. Well, I might not be able to stop them, but I know I can slow them down. Listen, Everett, I think I said. You saved me once, now let me save you. Good placement of the hands right there, as X-23 is killing fools. As she's like slicing them in half. He finally got out. Ah! Professor. Professor, can you hear me? I can hear you, mutant. Just fine. Now before you die, I want you to hear me. We are going to wipe your kind from the face of this planet. Understood? We're the future, not you. Yo! Yo! Now. He was listening. The professor heard me in time, so I made it. I made it back. Welcome home, Everett. You were missed. I was resurrected with all the secrets of the vault. What they had become, what they were becoming, and some ideas of how to stop them. Alright. Next page. But that's just information data. Here's what I really learned. Friends, confidants, partner, lover. Those are human words to describe human relationships, measured in human years. I could still hear him, my father, saying that he loved my mother so much he was willing to die for her. Human words, useless words. Love is not dying for someone. It is living for them. I think of the lifetimes I have spent with this person, that I have known them better than anyone else on the planet, maybe more than anyone ever will. And I have to wonder, how do you explain such a thing? How do you even start a conversation? 23 cents out of claws? What are you looking at? Yeah, okay, that'll work. Next page. Oh shit, that's it? No, like, graph of, like, the future issues? That just ends? Okay, then. Alright. This issue was fucking awesome, man. Like, low-key, this might have been my favorite issue of the X-Men book so far. Very fascinating read. I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. This one was awesome. Anyway, guys, I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you like it, subscribe for new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.